Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Michael Bird, and once again, I'm joined by Paela Pani.
Pani? Where did you find the other letters? Pew, pew, pew. That wine is the wine. Cheers, buddy. Cheers. We're drinking on this one.
Yes, we are. It's been that kind of week.
We haven't recorded in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, 2 weeks hiatus, and a lot has gone on.
Life.
You know, life has gone on.
Life has been lifing.
Along with personal lives, we've also have a new president coming into effect.
Oh,
I know you don't want
God.
to talk about. See, I know you didn't want to talk about it, but
No, I'll talk about him. I don't know that you're ready.
I'm always ready. We'll
Born ready, baby.
Heck yeah. On that note, hold on. All right. So how are you doing down there?
I am wonderful down here. How are you up there on your high horse?
We got new equipment for a new
Yes, we
podcast,
do.
So hopefully the audio sounds a lot better.
Yes.
It sounds pretty decent right now.
Yeah. Hopefully no more echoes so we don't have to,
Yeah.
deal with that part or put our listeners through that.
And if we do, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm just throwing everything in the fire.
Well, throw it in the fire.
I'm just done with it. It's over. Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny.
Hey, tell me about what's going on in your life right now. What we got?
A bunch of personal stuff going on, family stuff. And, to make it more interesting, my car just sold out this morning, and it was just amazing. I was late for work, and I'm probably going to spend a good amount of money to fix it because the alternator is probably what's wrong with it.
So it just died and all the lights came on.
So, yes. So I turned it on. It said check your charging station. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's done that before. So let me just keep driving because it goes away after a while.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, not this time. This time it just went Christmas tree. All the lights are on. And I'm like, gas? Nope, it wasn't going anywhere. Yeah, I was like, I guess let's just pull to the side and just cut it off. Maybe I shouldn't be driving it. So yeah, so basically the battery was drained. So essentially my mechanic said it could be the alternator. They're gonna I gotta take it in tomorrow and give it a diagnosis.
Well, listen to
So
this embarrassing shit that happened to me this weekend. So I go to Virginia Beach for the Virginia Beach,
Oh, yeah.
Jeep Festival.
yeah, I saw that.
2,500 Jeeps are registered for this event. So
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
The most Jeeps I've ever seen in any of these events, and I go to at least one a year. Now I'm doing what's called the sand obstacle course, where they put up these hills of sand. You drive your Jeeps on them. Some of them are tilted, some of them are flat. They're just high.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here. I went Facebook Live, right? And I'm talking shit about this Jeep in front of me because he's stalling out. And all of a sudden, I get up on this one hill, and then I go down, and then my Jeep cuts off. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell just happened?
What?
So,
Why?
that's the thing. I'm sitting there. I push the brake. I hit the start, and the motor's running. I mean, it's not running, but it's turning over. It's trying to start, but it's not getting any fuel. So this guy
Was it too much sand?
No, this kind of bobcat, he comes over, talks to me. I told him what happened. He hooks the tow strap up to me, and he tows me out of the way.
Out of the way, yeah.
Because everybody had to go around me.
Uh-huh.
And
So you were that guy?
I was that guy.
No.
And it was right
That
there.
was me this morning, sitting there on the side of it. I hope nobody hits me. I hope nobody hits me. I wasn't blocking traffic. I was on the side, but it's only a two-way. It's only one way and the other way. So I'm like, I hope nobody hits me. I hope nobody hits me.
Yeah.
In morning traffic.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
at least it wasn't on
Yeah.
interstate. I was in interstate traffic for almost 2 hours yesterday. But anyway, I
Yeah.
digress. So the guy in the bobcat, he pulls me off the track, and on this run on the obstacle course was at least 100 Jeeps. Okay, it may have been more than that.
Holy
Could have been
cow.
150.
Yeah.
And I was at the front. I was Jeep number 15. So I had to wait for all these Jeeps to go by before they could come over and help me out. But while I'm waiting for all these Jeeps to go by, I'm sitting there like trying to guess or figure out what happened, right?
Yeah.
So I have this thing called an S-Pod. It controls all my LED lights.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't come on. So I'm like, okay, so something's not right. Whatever is wrong with my Jeep has to do with this S-Pod.
Oh, the electrical.
Electrical, yeah. So it's over. These guys come over. They look under my Jeep. And the good thing about this, you got all these Jeep mechanics out there.
Right. I mean,
Jeeps.
obviously, yeah.
So they look at my fuse box, and there's a melted fucking fuse.
Stop.
So I turned on all.
Was it because of the lights?
All because of the lights. I turned on all my LEDs, and me, fucking Mr. Watch a YouTube video and wire shit up on my own. I hooked my LED lights up to my fuel pump fuse, and when I turned on all the LED lights, it overloaded the fucking fuse, melted it, and my fuel pump stopped working. So they popped a new fuse in there, and I was up and running.
Okay.
And I had to.
Well, you learned something new.
You learn something.
You're gonna learn today.
It was embarrassing. I'm like, have you ever been? You've been to Virginia Beach to the boardwalk?
Yeah.
Seen the big Neptune statue?
Yeah.
So I was literally broke down right there, right behind the Neptune statue. So you
Yikes!
had, like all these vendors that were there to start with, then you had all the people watching, and I'm just.
Oh man.
Hi folks. Yep, it's me.
I mean, it is what it is. It's whatever. It happens. It happens. But now you know. Now you know where to hook it, right?
I know where not to. that's
How about don't do it at all? Just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it at all. Yeah. Well, no, I rewired it straight to my battery, so now we're good.
Okay. All right.
So that was my weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. I finished my tattoo, my mommy daughter tattoo, so that was fun.
Oh yeah.
So my panther is done.
That's on your lower back.
No, yeah, the tramp stamp. Listen, Linda, we don't do that around here. I'm not a Gen X. I'm not a Gen Xer. I'm a millennial. We skipped the tramp stamp.
I got called a boomer this weekend.
What?
Yeah, I totally did.
Are you even a boomer? You're not a boomer.
I am.
You're a Gen X.
Gen X.
Yeah.
Gen X,
Yeah.
That means it's because of the white hair. I got called a boomer.
Oh, I think they were just taking a dig.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like show you this, but like I'm realizing maybe it's showing too much. So like, let me like delete some stuff, you know.
What
Yeah.
pictures you got in your phone?
Listen, I thought it was a tattoo picture, but apparently.
Well, you do have a new love interest. There's no telling what kind of pictures you got in there.
No, sir. I am an adult and I am a mother, and she gets a hold of my phone. So.
Oh, that is cool.
But I finished it. Yeah. So I got it finished for the cameras. Can you see it in the camera?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's my mom and daughter panther tattoo because my spirit animal is a panther.
And
So-
there's a shitty football team called the Panthers too.
Yeah, that was a coincidence. I decided my spirit animal was a panther since I was like 14, 15, and I was still in Albania. I didn't know what the Panthers were in America.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You did? Oh.
No, we don't watch football. We don't watch American football. That's an American thing. America.
I mean, I knew what a Panther was.
America.
Are you familiar with that breakdancer from the Olympics from Australia?
The one that did amazing.
Yeah.
The one that was sweeping the floor with everybody.
I'm going to like show you something here. Let me find
The
it.
Australian breakdancer. Yeah,
Bear with me.
definitely remember that one. There was a lot of memes on that one.
I am working with a new operating system over here, so you have to talk while I'm looking this up.
Yeah, no, I'll talk about it. I don't know what you're showing, but I mean, I think I could have done better at breakdancing than she did, but you
Oh
know.
my god. So this is a Minnesota.
I'm still wondering what the qualifiers were for breakdancing, the breakdancing category. Like, what qualified you to actually make it to the Olympics?
Well, it's not have been much if this woman made it.
Well, they took it away, right? They're not gonna have breakdance.
She single-handedly killed breakdancing. Alright, so
Oh my God! Stop it! And the noises,
hold on, let me start it over.
the
So
screeching noises.
This is a Minnesota Vikings player. He just makes an interception, and this is his celebration.
That's hilarious.
Okay, watch this.
Oh, stop. He's been practicing.
Oh my God! Watch this shit.
Oh, he's been practicing that one.
Oh my
Oh, that's
God.
hilarious.
How many times?
That is hilarious.
How many times do you think he practiced that?
Listen, that is hilarious. I love that. Yeah, I'll take the
Mike
celebration all day. That's hilarious.
Oh my God. That was
That's too
great.
funny.
I bet he sat at home all week,
Just
watching
practicing.
her and just practicing that movie.
I don't know. It could be something he's doing with the kids too, you know? Like their own little thing, practicing that dance.
These kids are like, Dad, what the hell are you doing?
Hey,
What
you
are
got to do what you got to do sometimes. You got to embarrass them,
Yeah.
you know?
All right, so,
What's happening?
well, we have a new president-elect. What do you think?
We
about
do.
it? We do. I can tell your face. You're about to like, oh snap! Here we go.
I mean, I'm not a fan. You know that.
Yeah,
You know where I stand. I think everybody knows where I stand. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not a fan. I think.
Well, let's start from the beginning. Why are you not a fan?
Just it doesn't. I was never a fan. I just think that there's certain things that take a certain finesse that he does not possess. There's certain charisma. There's certain things that come along with it. In politics, they're dirty all around. I'm not saying that anybody is very honest, and I will put my hand on the fire for anyone, especially in politics. However, there is a certain way of expressing yourself and everything else. I'm not saying that he is completely wrong in everything that he says. His delivery is completely wrong to me. The way he speaks is demeaning. The way he speaks to me in my ear sounds very divisive, racist, misogynistic, and so forth. I also think that tinfoil hat on, conspiracy theory, I'll put it on.
I need like some music to play with.
Right? I also think that this was purposely done so he doesn't go to jail based on his convictions because people are protecting him.
What was purposely done?
Him winning.
So you think it was a rigged election?
Not necessarily rigged, right? But you have to think on a larger scale. With all the technology, the data that we have, and everything else, we could predict what what the results will be. It's very easy, preliminary, like everything. You can predict who's gonna win. It's very easy with everything that we have as far as like data analysis and projection and all of those things. So I think that there was a high probability that he was going to win, especially against a woman, especially against a woman of color at that. I don't think that the Democrats supported her at all, and they didn't come out for her. They didn't vote for her. That's what I'm saying. So, like, it wasn't rigged in terms of, like, stolen votes or whatever. I'm not even, that's just BS. Like, I'm not even going to go into that.
Because the polling numbers, like all these polls, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, Newsmax, everybody was polling them neck and neck. They were like, this is going to be the closest election we've ever had. You know, so all the polls were wrong.
I mean,
it was a blowout.
Yeah, but like you have to think about what's going to make news, right? What's going to keep you interested. If they say it's going to be a blowout, you're not going to watch anymore. I mean,
they were.
We already know there's certain things that are said, there's certain things that are done to kind of make a sensation and everything else. So really, like social media, the news, like we already know where that stands. It's like if you're just listening to that, if you're just making your decisions based on that, what you see online, you're not informed. You're not making the best decision for yourself. Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of like how I feel. And then the other part that I don't like is the assumption that my brain has been affected somewhat by social media or the media, why I'm making the decision that I'm making. Like, anyone that insults my intelligence is like, really? Like, do we want to go there? Do we want to have that conversation? Like,
who's making a decision based off of anything else? We're all led by a media, some type. Whether you get your media from one of the 3 major news networks, or you go to YouTube, or you go to X and get it from there, we're all influenced by things we don't have firsthand information about. Now, I do.
But there's a lot of, right, but there's a lot of, like, we work in the public sector, so, like, all of this information is public knowledge. Like, it's out there for you to actually research, and you can read it. It's publicly published.
Where?
Online. You can find it. These are documents that are actually put in place.
Nobody looks for documents, though. Like, where are you going to get these documents?
But that's what I'm saying.
Are you going to get a Freedom of Information Act and actually go and request documents?
You could.
You could, but nobody does that.
You could. So then we are all voting based on emotions, right?
Based on emotions,
okay.
Based on tribalism, based on what you watch. You
mm-hmm.
know, I can't watch MSNBC for 5 seconds without going, what the
I don't know what that is. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have time to make to watch and get convinced by some other person. I make decisions based on my life and what will affect my community and what I think economically, and thinking of like the large picture and the picture at hand of what would happen, right? So America has positioned themselves as a superpower for years. And the way we've done that is by investing in other countries, buying other countries, and really even going to war with other countries because of our own interests. We've done that.
We've bought other countries?
I mean, buying in, like basically giving them money and siding with them, allies and whatever else, right? So we've done that historically for our benefit, and that's what has kept us as a superpower. If we take that away, that's not a benefit to us, right? So then we're going back to there's a certain level of finesse and charisma and speech that you have to kind of compliment the other person so they can do whatever you want them to. And I just don't think that he possesses that.
I think the only reason why Trump is hated, this is a perfect example. You can go back and look at The View from 2015, 2016, before Trump was president.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Joy Behar, they love him. They love him. They
yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I can. I've watched this stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't base my opinion in that stuff. Like, that's not the stuff. Like, I look at policy. I look at, even the taxes or whatever people are saying. I'm like, yeah, macroeconomics, that doesn't make sense. I get it on a personal level. But when you look at it on a large picture, it doesn't make sense. Tariffs, that doesn't make sense. Illegal immigrants, that doesn't make sense. When you look at it large picture, we can talk about other different things that are happening that you're not even thinking about, because that's not what they're talking about, because they're playing on your emotions.
What do you mean that tariffs and illegal immigration doesn't make sense?
So you increase tariffs, right, of goods that are coming here. What do you think is going to happen? Are those goods going to be cheaper?
Well, so like if we tariff
just math.
China,
but just math. Do simple math. I don't even let's not go into like details.
If they pay the tariffs, see, here's what I don't understand about tariffs. Trump lives and dies by tariffs. He says it's the greatest word ever, and it worked in his first 4 years. You know, things were cheaper, and he was tariffing China. He was tariffing these countries, and we never really felt any effects from the products being raised.
You never feel it right there and then. You always feel it later on.
Like how?
So in any election, any presidency, you've never felt what they've done in those 4 years until it's happened down the road, right? Like, we never knew what Bill Clinton was doing, and that was the greatest time in America at the time, right? I wasn't even here, but that's what people have said. Just based on people.
Oh, you were
no.
Okay.
I didn't move here until 2002.
That's true.
So I moved here under Bush. So, those were the best times of all, right? Mm-hmm. Trickle effect from what the policies were set when Bill Clinton was in power. 2008 happened, right? So this is 10 years later. You really don't feel what they do now until 10 years later. or 8 years later, whatever it is, right? So you're not going to feel it. So what's to say that maybe it wasn't just the pandemic? Maybe it was those tariffs that the goods are up now, right? It wasn't just the pandemic. It wasn't all these things that happened. Who's to say? Have we looked at those? Like, have we looked at the trajectory? Do we know in details? We're never going to know the truth anyways, right?
Yeah. I don't
So,
know. I think tariffs are a good thing. I think that if we tariff China, that they probably will hike their prices. But
which
does
affects
it
you and
benefit them
me.
to hike their prices up and we not buy it, and then they're still paying high tariffs.
But Mike, look at the housing prices. Are people not buying houses because the prices are through the roof? We are not I'll say a thing. We as a people are not the type of people, and I'm including myself in this, to say I'm not buying that shit because it's too expensive. It's like, well, I gotta figure out more money to buy it.
I mean, you gotta live.
Right.
You gotta pay
Exactly.
$6 for a pack of bacon.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
Really
we were complaining about milk and eggs, and we still bought milk and eggs.
yeah, I mean, as long as you keep buying it, they're
Do
gonna
you-
keep the prices.
But do you get what I'm saying? So if those prices go up, we're still gonna buy it. We complain about gas prices. Ain't nobody walking.
Yeah, and people still.
We figure it the hell out
Still
because that's
paying.
what we do, right?
Well,
So,
prices are already going down. I went to some places and it was $2.70. So it's gonna go back down.
but that happens every election. I feel like I'm not even basing it on that simple stuff. It's just like other stuff too, and like the women's rights with abortion and stuff like that. And I'm not pro-abortion in that sense, but there's like certain like Planned Parenthood rights, and like there's certain like things, just women health stuff that also have been taken away, and that's what affects.
Okay, so.
And then I'll go in my conspiracy theory on that too.
As a man, of course, I can't have an abortion.
Correct.
Maybe I can't, according to some liberals, but I don't know. That's another story. So, as a man, I have questions about this because I hear a lot of women talking about they're losing their rights and their daughters. They feel for them like their daughters have more rights now than they have.
They don't have more
They
rights.
don't have more rights than they have, and I just don't see. It doesn't make sense to me because we've already been through a 4-year Trump presidency.
This wasn't in place,
though.
though.
Women haven't lost their rights, though. Well, if we're talking about Roe versus Wade, that went out when Trump was president.
Later on.
He sent it back to the states.
Mm-hmm.
So women can still get abortions. But if they live in a state where it was voted against, then they have to go to another state to get an abortion. I still don't see how that's violating a woman's rights because it's state specific. It's just like some states sell alcohol in the pharmacy in Walmart. Some states don't, like North Carolina. States have their own laws. So I don't see how this is a rights thing.
So let me ask you this question as I make different facial expressions.
Let's just say if Kamala won, she couldn't change it.
So, there's different ways you could change it, right? However, it's not as simple as just the abortion rights. And also, if you are we really equating getting an abortion if I wanted to with sale of alcohol or marijuana or whatever else?
I'm just saying it's a state law.
But it should be a woman's right. It should be a woman's right. Period. I don't care.
So you want it to be a government law?
It should be a woman's right to choose to do what they want. So furthermore, it's not because now I got to go to a different state. Maybe I don't have the money to go to a different state. But maybe I don't have the money to go to a different state.
Then you have to have voters in that state to vote for it.
Right, but if they're already voting against it, what you get what I'm saying? Like it's taking my right to do what I need to do for my life. Because getting an abortion, and I'll say this because there's a lot of it's controversial, right? I have a child now. I waited 36 years to have a child, right? And I've had maybe one scare in my life. And at the time I was 19 years old. And there was no way that in my 19-year-old mind, I would have been able to care for a child, go to school, actually get an education, get an actual job that I could afford a child and everything else, right? So thankfully that wasn't the case and I didn't have to go through that. However, think about how many other women go through that. And as a 19-year-old, you're afraid to even like tell your parents sometimes, depending on where you come from, how you grew up, right? And so, but abortion rights are not even as basic as that. They actually go back on actual care for you. So, tinfoil hat, again, conspiracy theory.
I like it when you
based on data. Yeah. Women of color and other minority women are more prone to pregnancy like deaths and mortality rates than white women. Okay? Based on data, more white women get abortions than minority women. Okay? More white women get abortions than minority women. Okay?
I'm tracking.
All right. So, when you ban abortion, that means that these white women that are getting abortions can no longer get abortions. They have to have these babies. And then you're putting the minority women at kind of risk because it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens, right? Because now you're taking their right to actually get an abortion to save their life, or the aftercare, or the prenatal care. Like, you're taking certain things out of, like, it's not just the simple abortion rights, right? So now you're securing that the prediction of America not being white and that white people becoming the minority, now you're taking that away because now you're ensuring that white women end up having those babies. But then what happens in that retrospect is that women came out as the gender that is the most educated between both men and women. So now, because you're forcing them to have babies, they no longer can go to school because they have to take care of the baby. So it's like a whole domino effect.
Wow, you really put that on. Holy shit.
But this is shit that people think about. But this is shit that women think about.
So it's simple to me.
Because like some states are not allowing you to get an abortion in case of rape. They're not allowing you to have an abortion in case of incest. Like, that's, come on now, really?
Yeah. So that's
a crime in itself.
I think this. I think a woman should have the right to choose her. What's it? Pro-choice, right?
Right.
A woman should have final say in her own body. It's her body. But I feel like every state should allow abortion for these three instances: incest, rape, and the mother's life.
To save a life, yeah.
That should be automatic at
a standard, yeah.
Should be the standard across.
A standard medical procedure.
Because of irresponsibility, that's the one I have a problem with.
I do have a problem with it, but we all were teenagers.
I didn't get laid till I was 18, so.
Okay, and when did you have your first kid?
23.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, but I was fine with that. I kept it.
Yeah, but a lot of women don't.
It was an accident. That didn't mean to happen, and we kept
and a lot of women don't choose to, though. Like, what if you're in college and you don't want to? It just happened with the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so do you think there should be a term limit, though? Do you think it should go all the way up to, like, the baby's almost about to pop out?
Okay, first of all, it's never gone that up. So I don't know who the fuck is lying.
No.
I don't know who is lying. I don't know who's.
How many weeks is
I don't know who. I don't know what states, but like, it's always been since the days of the days when I first got on birth control at 16 years old through Planned Parenthood. Abortions were not allowed. I think like the max was 12 weeks, which is 3 months, and that's it. If you were past that, they could not give you one.
When do you know you're pregnant?
At 8 weeks, probably.
At 8 weeks?
6 to 8 weeks.
So that's like 2 months and some change. So that's when you can feel the changes.
Like within a month, I mean, if you're missing your period. But then there's women that don't miss their period. So they don't know until 4 or 5 months. And guess what? By then, the baby has probably started like moving. So no, don't kill it. Like at that point, it's like a true human.
So when we talk
getting
about
created.
When we talk about women losing their rights, we're talking about the abortion issue, basically. That's what most women have an issue with.
I just have an issue with health. Like, I need women to be able to be healthy and make that choice for themselves. Like, it's like, what if it was a promiscuous night that I just want to have fun and I got pregnant. Why would I want to keep that child? I made a mistake. I'm young. How many mistakes have we made when we were young?
That's a big one, though.
How many mistakes are we still making?
Well, so
my child was a mistake, and I was 35 years old.
I know. I'm kind of.
You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But because I was 35, I was like, that's not even a question because I can afford it now. But like,
there's a lot of women your age though that can't have babies that wish they could.
Well, that's the other factor. It's like, okay, so is there a plan in place? Because if we're getting rid of these abortion rights and we're having women have kids that they either can't afford or can't take care of or whatever else, is there a plan in place that these children will be rehomed to homes that actually can afford them and can give them the best life possible? Or are we going to Section 8 them and live off of our taxes? Because that's all we're fucking creating. Yeah. If we're forcing women to have kids, we're creating the exact scenario that we don't want.
Yeah, but you're not. There's always a choice, and I know you hate it that you have to drive to another state. But if you,
it's not a hate. It's not a hate. It's a matter of, can I afford to?
Yeah. Well, maybe
because we're not talking about grown women having abortions. We're talking about probably 19-year-old that doesn't even is working at $7 an hour or not even working.
Maybe there needs to be some kind of clause or something that benefit in your medical insurance that says if you want an abortion.
But that's what I'm saying, right?
Doesn't have it, then maybe they will pay to go to a state.
Insurance companies are never gonna do that. Insurance companies don't even pay for shit you need. Yeah. Like, go get an MRI. How much is that shit? Because I know insurance doesn't cover it.
I don't know. I just go to the VA.
Well, yeah, you get those benefits. Us normal people, we gotta pay like $600, $700 for an MRI. Because insurance doesn't cover it. That's what I'm saying. Like, insurance is not going to cover up certain things, right? Like, we all know insurance is a fraud. We just have to have it and pay it.
Abortion is a tricky subject.
It is. It's very controversial. It's just, to me, it just creates the same problem that we don't want, which is create more families that can't afford the child, that have to live off of government assistance. And that's the very, very thing that we don't want. Right? Because then my taxes are paying for that instead of going towards something else.
It just pisses me off. Like when I see, who Sunny Hostin is?
Mm-mm.
So she's an African-American host on The View. The View's the worst show on TV, by the way.
I don't do any of those shows. Yeah.
This woman gets up there. She's a millionaire to start with.
Mm-hmm.
She starts talking.
Oh, I think you posted something about her.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like how she's a millionaire and she talks about how her daughter has lost her rights. Her daughter is freaking a millionaire. Doesn't have to worry about shit.
Okay.
And lives in New York. They give out abortions like it's Halloween candy up there. So I mean, what is she worried about? How did she lose her rights? It's stuff like that. It's that ignorance to just like.
Well, it's not ignorance. It's trying to relate to people that you.
Oh, her great grandparents owned slaves.
But
she's up there talking about she's the most. Oh my God!
Which great grandparents?
Her great grandparents were slave owners.
But you said she's a woman of color.
She's a woman of color.
So okay.
She's light skinned, so there was a mixture somewhere.
Oh, so do you think so great parents maybe were white and owned slaves?
Probably.
Most races have mixed kids. I saw a post today on Facebook and I died laughing. Most races.
A lot of black guys like
most racist grandparents have mixed kids, and that cannot be more true. Like, I died laughing when I saw the post. I was like, ain't that the truth? I didn't like or anything, interact to it, but I was like, big ups, because I get it. I've seen it.
I would like to know the percentage of professional African-American men that play sports, professional athletes. I want to know how many are married to white women. It's got to be high.
That's not a... I don't know that that's a...
Oh, it's a thing.
I mean, it is a thing. It's definitely been a thing for a while. I don't think it's a thing anymore.
You don't think so?
No, because I think in 2024, gold diggers just come in any color. Like, I just don't think...
It's gold digger issue. I don't know.
It's definitely a... listen, It's the type of woman with the body done up that goes in the club, that gets in the VIP section, that knows how to like put two sentences together, that gets their attention. Professional athletes are not known to be like the most intelligent people out there. Okay, they just have a talent. They play sports, and some of them, I mean, some of us obviously cannot match that talent. But nobody said that they have to have a brain in order for them to be successful at sports.
Let's see here.
So
black athletes prefer white women over black
oh
women.
Jesus, not the
The deal
stats,
with black athletes, they almost all. Oh my
not
God.
those stats.
It's a YouTube video. I want to read something. Why do most successful black athletes entertain? Let's just see what Qora says.
But why is this interesting to you? Like why you gotta like?
No, I'm just.
What's the
saying
purpose of this?
Well, because we were talking about Sonny Hostin and her great grandparents.
But this has
they
been
were probably white.
yeah, they probably raped the grandma or something.
I don't know. That's harsh.
Harsh. This shit happened. What do you mean?
His opinion on this. I don't know if there was rape involved.
This shit happened for real back then. What do you mean? How many like slave owners?
Her great grandparents. So that means they lived in what, like 1920,
Mike.
1930.
Yeah. Yeah. Segregation didn't stop until 1964. Slavery was abolished in 1864. However, because of segregation, a lot of like black people were still lynched, still raped, and still owned by slave owners, and not released and not given their papers, and they were given property and not told that they had to pay taxes. Do you want to go down history lane with me?
I would bet my life. I would bet my life that Sonny Hostin's great grandparents were probably white. Okay, white, and
Slave owners.
yeah,
Granddaddy was white.
They were definitely slave.
Granddaddy was white.
Yeah.
It could have been granddaddy and grandmama, and then the son just fell in love with one of the slaves, and then they had kids.
Well, I just think it's funny. She's probably the product. You know,
Either way, they're rich and far removed from reality. So I need people that are far removed from reality to stop making decisions for us, the people, because we are the ones that are suffering. We are the ones that are fighting with each other for shit that doesn't even pertain us. Most of us are not even in a tax bracket to be affected by tax laws. So what the fuck are you even talking about? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, so.
And a lot of people are getting government assistance, but somehow they hate people that live off of government assistance. And it's like, but you are.
But a lot of
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just like, probably the same people that abuse it don't like illegal immigrants and say they get the benefits. And it's like, what benefits? They don't get anything.
Her husband is Haitian and part Spanish. Where's her parents?
You are like, she didn't do anything to you, Mike. She's just rich and wants to relate.
She just wants to be. She wants to be an icon.
She wants to relate.
Yeah, she wants to be an icon.
She wants an opinion. They gave her a platform, and she wants to relate.
Yeah. Well,
Who cares? She doesn't make any decisions. She just makes the check at the View.
You know what she relates to me? You know, you change your trash bag, and there's like this wet stuff at the bottom of your trash bag. That's how much she relates to me on that.
I'm so done with you.
Anywho.
The hate is real.
I mean, some of these people just deserve it, man. Oh, my God.
Well, kind of how I feel about Elon Musk, so.
What do you not like about a man that can land a rocket? You know how NASA used to launch their rockets, the space shuttles, they have these rockets on them. And after the space shuttle goes into orbit, these rockets detach and they fall in the ocean. And they're done. So Elon Musk invented a rocket that actually does that, but it lands.
I'm not taking away from the man.
The man's a genius.
I'm not taking away from him. He could be a genius. He's still an egomaniac.
Have you ever seen him interact?
He's still an egomaniac. Yes, he has no social fucking clue.
He's like a
Yes, he has no social. He's not a cool dork. He's just a genius that created something. And
he created a lot of things.
listen, at this point in his career, he's not creating shit. Other people are creating it for him. He's just coming up maybe with ideas, or maybe like 100 ideas are getting thrown at him, and he's like, let's go with that one. Other people are working for him at this point in his career. He's a billionaire. He's not fucking doing the work anymore. He's not the kid from Canada anymore. He's not the kid from Canada anymore. He's not inventing shit anymore. He's too far removed from the shit. Right now, he's such an egomaniac that he's trying to build an empire and have a monopoly on data mining and algorithms and all this other information. So watch out.
Yeah, but what do you think about him buying Twitter and changing the name to X? I mean, now people can go up there and say whatever.
What are his kids' names? Aren't his kids' name like AEX something something?
No, I know he does have a transgender child.
That hates him?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much.
Because he blamed the school system for turning the child.
I don't know anything about that.
I read up on it. My dad told me about it, so then I read up on it.
Oh, yeah. I do know he has a lot of kids. Like
He's only had about 3 or 4 wives.
I don't think that affects a person's politics or anything. I mean, he actually slept with
he did. They dated for a little bit.
And you know what?
You obviously don't think that affects the president-elect, so nor his felony. So yeah.
Elon Musk and what's that Indian guy's name? Ramaswamy. They are the head of Doge. You know what that
Of
is?
who?
It's a new agency. It's the Department of Government Efficiency.
Oh, great.
Well, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing because the government spends way too much money on bullshit. You know, how much money does the government waste on sending funds overseas? Have you ever been to like...
Why do we send funds overseas?
Good question. Like, why are we sending all this money to you?
It's control.
Okay, we don't need that.
Yeah, we do. How do you maintain a superpower? You take control. If you throw money at people, you maintain control. You have control of them. Like if
you have control by giving people a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's payoff.
You own.
It's like a payoff.
Yeah, you own them.
No.
It's bribery.
A payoff works. If Ukraine is saying we need all this money,
it's bribery at its best.
Why would we be bribing the Ukraine? That's a little bitty ass country.
You and me will never know the truth.
I disagree on this one. I just think so if you go to
maybe it's a way to control Ukraine because Russia is actually fighting them, and now we're best friends with Russia. So there's a way of controlling Ukraine so they don't create any more problems for Russia.
I don't think we're best friends. I think Trump is friends with Putin.
I mean, he's representing us, so.
Yeah. But within 72 hours, he already had a conversation with Putin.
Yeah, which is
on all the news,
I mean, yeah, Mike.
Trying to end the war now.
I'll call you when I'm in power too, and be like, "What's up, man?" I won, by the way.
But you know what? He's doing more in 72 hours than Biden has done.
We don't know. How do you know that?
It's all over. Like even MSNBC's reporting it, and they hate it. They hate it. It's okay, Paela. It's okay.
I think we just reject the information that we really need to pay attention to.
Yeah, the problem is
whether we like somebody or not,
The problem is you got all these news outlets feeding different information.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't listen to the news regardless.
Well, I mean, it's like election night. I was up till 3 a.m. I was not going to bed until I learned.
Yeah, I saw the post from Paela saying go to bed. I started laughing. I was like, go ahead and tell your daddy to go to bed.
And it was her first time ever being able to vote. So,
Aww.
I was glad for her. So I watched the election to the end, and Fox News called the election at least an hour and a half to 2 hours before CNN or MSNBC would. They would not.
Yeah, they didn't want to accept it, probably. Yeah.
They would not accept it. Yeah, so it was funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it coming. I was like, I'm going to bed. I don't even need to watch it end. Like, I already know.
It's a wonderful night.
I don't get it. Like, it's just that, like, my moral standards are a little higher than that. He just doesn't fit.
I think it's just.
He just doesn't fit for me. Sorry.
It's not moral standards. It's just your beliefs.
Yeah, moral standards. Like, I mean, he's just not. Like, to me, he's like way more far removed than we think from reality. Like, he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Like, he has no idea what hard work actually is.
Are you sure?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever watched
100 fucking %.
He used to go to apartments and collect rent.
100% That is not hard work.
Oh, he got shit thrown at him. He would knock on the doors.
That's not hard work.
People would not pay the rent, and they would throw like feces at him.
That's not hard work. That's
shitty,
going to collect.
no pun
That's
intended.
right. No, literally shitty work. But you're going to collect your rent from your building because you own so many different buildings.
But you have to
So,
do it.
yeah,
But you have to do it. That's
for like a month maybe or a week, just so you know what it feels like.
But that's like you own a restaurant and you have to be a cook in that restaurant.
No, not necessarily.
It's the same.
Not necessarily. Not every owner of a restaurant is a cook in their restaurant.
Not every real estate mogul, when they start out, has to go out and pick up their rent.
Thank
They have
you.
people to do it.
Correct.
Trump started from the ground up. I mean, yeah, his pops was rich and all that. He was inherited a lot of stuff, but he went out and did his thing.
He's still far removed from the reality.
It's like Donald Trump.
I'll tell you where the difference is. Can I tell you what the difference is?
Tell me. I'd love to hear it.
Me going and collecting rent because I'm starting from the ground up and I'm grinding to make sure that people pay that rent is because either I am working for the person who owns the building and I'm trying to get to that point or whatever else. Him going to collect the rent, he already owns the building. He already owns multiple buildings. He is doing that for maybe a week or two, just so he knows what it looks like, and he can actually
that
get
for a
the
fact,
sense
though?
of it. Huh?
Do you know that for a fact?
That's how it goes. No, I don't know how for a fact. I don't have to know for a fact.
Because if you're that rich, you're Donald Trump in your early 30s or late 20s.
If I was his
you could hire
father,
somebody to go.
no. If I was his father, if I'm giving you all this fucking money, and you're inheriting all of this, I need you to go and grind it out so you can show me that you have what you got, like what you need, and tell me how much money you're going to collect. Like, do you have what it takes to actually go grind it out and get the money? Because guess what? Business is ruthless, right?
Mm-hmm.
People that make that much money, they have stolen, they have gaslit, they have lied, they have manipulated situations to make that amount of money. I see it every day. I've been in real estate. I see it every day. Every day. To get to that point, you have to do certain things to get to that point. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. If you think otherwise, you're a fool. So what I'm saying is, he needed to show his father to get all of the money, the inheritance. He needed to show his father that he had what needed to run the business. I don't think for a second that he did it as a job or he worked his way up. No, I think he did it to prove a point.
Well, so that's just your opinion. It's an opinion not based on
Obviously,
facts.
that's why I keep saying I think.
Yeah. So I mean,
I won't put my
True.
hand on the fire for it, but that's what I think.
That would hurt. You shouldn't do that anyway.
Yeah, I'm not doing that for anyone.
Maybe the Bible. I don't know.
Nah, I'm not doing that either. That was written by men because we didn't
I'll put
have.
my hand on the Bible.
That was written by men because we didn't have a government back then.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like this whole thing.
I just don't align with it. That's all it is. Like I just don't align with his.
But if Trump
just.
was in 2005, grabbed her in the pussy, would you have any?
I still didn't like him.
on him?
Yeah, because I didn't like him. I never liked him.
You didn't like him when he was like on The Apprentice?
I never liked him. I can't stand the way he speaks. I can't stand his voice. I think he's demeaning. He's disrespectful. I think he is the definition of a sociopath or narcissist. Like the way he speaks,
Yeah.
it's like triggering and it gets on my nerves. Like it's like I don't even want to hear his voice.
I get that, but I think that is needed dealing with some of these world leaders. And I think he gets the respect from a lot of these world leaders. If you hear a lot of them talk about Trump, they like him. Especially like the leader of Poland, the president of Poland, he likes Trump. The prime minister in England, who is it now? I'm drawing a blank. I couldn't even tell you. But a lot of countries really have good relationships with Trump. Now, whether we know it's just a facade they put on video, like Kim Jong-un, he hung out with Trump and they smile and laugh. You know.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like, look at the leaders that are behind him. Like, I don't know that I have much faith when I like. Look at who your friends are, bro.
Trump
Like
does shit like this though. This is the shit that gets my respect. Listen, okay, like he sits down with ISIS leaders, and this has been verified several times. You can look it up online. He sits down with ISIS leaders and tells this ISIS leader, if one American loses their lives in this withdrawal, he pulls out a picture of the guy's house and gives it to him, and then walks away.
and you know that for a fact.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's a fact. That is balls.
Okay.
Like that is respect that is warranted by all world leaders. And he does shit like this too, just like a clown. Like he goes to Saudi Arabia and has a meeting with these princes and stuff, and you can't touch them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's against the law, or like you can't put your hands on royalty
Mm-hmm.
in Saudi Arabia. I need to look this up because I'm pretty sure that's it. He goes and taps the dude on the shoulder and then walks away, and the other guy's like, "Who just touched me?" You know, like pulling the trick on him. You never seen that?
No, but and you think that's respected?
No, I think it's a I think it's Trump saying, "I don't give a fuck about your."
That's what I'm saying. So like we're going back to me saying there's a certain finesse in politics, and there's a certain.
Maybe we need that.
Oh, Mike.
Goody two shoes shit, and everybody.
I get it. That's why y'all elected him the first time, because maybe we needed him and I didn't see it. So I'm never going to see it, because to me, I don't need a bully to lead me or take me anywhere. Like, to me, he is so far removed from reality, and he's so demeaning and disrespectful, and he's a bully borderline that preys on the less than and plays on your emotions and everything else. That's why people think that he spews hate, because he's playing on the emotions. Like, it, I'm just going to leave it at that. No more tinfoil hat. No more tinfoil hat. I just can't do it. Like, do you see, like, so you also need to understand, like, I don't believe that anybody is a saint in politics. Politics are dirty. Business is dirty. You have to be a certain person to be successful in either, right? Oh, yeah. And it's not me and you sitting at this table. We're too honest. I need to sleep at night. I can't do certain shit and actually fall asleep at night. So it takes certain people to be successful at this. And it's for them. So when it comes to politics, it's always going to be the best of two evils. Always. It's never going to be, oh my God, they're amazing. I think what worries me about this country is the extent of people like putting him on the same page as Jesus, as God, making him higher than the power above, or talking about other people making a different decision as if they're like less than, or they're not smart enough. That's what I don't like, because in the end of the day,
I've never heard that.
I see it all over. I see it all over Facebook.
I've heard him called Hitler.
I see it all over. I'll show you my feed on Facebook, and you'll be surprised, because we probably see different things.
You got a bunch of conservative friends on your Facebook?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay. Because I don't like politics is not gonna let me like affect who I'm friends with and who I'm not, right? Like, you and I are sitting at this table. It didn't affect our friendship. We just have a difference of opinions, right? And so, but at the same time, I'll never allow you to be like, oh, you're not smart enough because you didn't vote for him. Like, no, come on, Mike. You know my intelligence level. Like, it's not about that. So pinning people or assuming that somebody is not intelligent or is getting influence and cannot make an independent decision, that's what gets me. Because I can respect that you went ahead and voted for this person. And I'm not insulting your intelligence. I'm not saying that something missing in your brain. Because why would you get influenced and vote for him, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying everybody has a choice to make, just like you said, and that's what you made. To me, it doesn't make sense, because to me, my minority friends, my immigrant status, because I'm still an immigrant in the end of the day, I will never go for it, because this country was built on immigrants, illegal ones, on illegal ones. Illegal ones. And really, if you think about it, the drugs that come in the country, they come from the government. Historically, has been proven. They did not come in fighting for their life at the border. You know how many people die at the border?
What do you mean the drugs that come into this country? Are you talking about illegal drugs coming from south of the border, like fentanyl and stuff, or?
Yeah, illegal drugs. How did they get transported here? From the Vietnam days.
Oh, Vietnam days? I don't know about
The soldiers brought it here. Historically, it's been proven. The government allowed it.
Yeah.
Open the doors. Wide open.
Today, though.
You think it's still not the case?
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think the government is corrupt, and that's what
Okay.
we're trying to get rid of right now, all the corruption.
Okay.
But I don't.
And you put a guy that shakes hands for money in power. Do you see where my logic doesn't match with the
so
decision making? You get what I'm saying?
Trump's 78 years old, right?
Too old.
He's a billionaire.
Too old.
Why would he want to be president? He's got enough money. Why would he?
Too
Why
old.
would he take seat in D.C. to be corrupt?
Hence why
money.
I said I feel like he's a narcissistic sociopath. Because it comes with power. It's about power. It's not about anything. And also, he has to be a president. He didn't want to go to jail.
Oh, he's not going to jail.
Right.
Like the attorney that the DA is trying to prosecute him, not DA, but whatever his name is, that Smith guy. He's going.
I know he's no longer going to. Yeah, I know he's no longer going to.
Think about it. He was prosecuted for bullshit. It was bullshit.
Was it bullshit?
If you would have done what Trump did,
Was it bullshit?
it was. Shouldn't even. If it was.
I guarantee you, if there was Obama getting accused for the same shit, y'all would have buried him. Y'all would have like, oh my God, you accused the man of being a Muslim. You accused him of not being a legal citizen. Y'all like accused that man for everything. And listen, that's what I'm saying. Y'all accused that man for everything. Y'all say he's not black. Y'all said he's too black. And then like his family had no scandals. Meanwhile, like the Bush administrative, like the girls were like going partying and getting DUIs and all that shit. Like, do you understand?
Look,
like the blatant racism. Like, come on, man. Like,
Obama just blew up his good old boy card when he went out and.
I can't talk politics to you.
But Obama did. Look, he pissed off a lot of African American men. Like he went out there and was like patronizing them, telling them, "How come y'all can't vote for Harris?" You know, he was like speaking down to him, and a lot.
I mean, as he should, because they made a choice. Like, I'll tell you this, right? You, where I stand. Immigrant laws, women laws, and everything else. That's why I didn't vote Republican. Okay? Aside from me not liking Trump. Okay? It just doesn't align with my
that's fair. Yeah.
morals. I don't relate. Sorry. Can't go against that shit. It's like voting against myself. Why the fuck would I do that? So, to him, it was exactly that. A lot of, like, that's why I said I'm very disappointed because I feel like a lot of Democrat men did not fucking show up because she's a woman. So,
I don't think so.
why would you vote against yourself?
Okay, so this is another thing that bothers me. Excuse me. A lot of these left-wing media outlets are accusing people of not voting for her because she's a woman and she's a minority. I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of people didn't vote for her because she's not qualified.
She's not qualified as a vice president?
No. You can say that she's qualified because she was she was a diversity and inclusion vice president. She did not qualify to be vice president.
But she's been a vice president for 4 years. You've been doing the job.
What has she done?
You've been doing the job as a vice president. Support her president. What else was she supposed to do?
To do things, though.
What else was she supposed to do aside from
Nobody
supporting the
can name what
president?
she's done by supporting the president. Nobody can name one thing.
Maybe because the media didn't cover it.
I don't think she did.
She didn't have to call the paparazzi and the media to like show everybody what she's done.
And if they would have had a primary, she wouldn't even have been the top 5. She wouldn't even have been.
Most of the presidency was under like, if you really think about it, like they were under like emergency it was during the pandemic. So if you think about it, like most of their presidency and like her and Biden were dealing with a very critical like pandemic and what was going to happen and making sure that people are safe and everything else. So everything was like emergency status. So when you're
like Bush
when you're having to deal with that, yeah. And guess what? Bush got reelected.
No, he didn't. He was ousted by Obama. He only did 4
But
years.
he did he? I thought he served 8.
No, it was.
Are you sure?
I don't think. No,
Look it up. I think he did 8.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking about his dad.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Bush wasn't voted out. He did 8 because he went against Al Gore and won.
I might be wrong on this one. And you know what? I can admit when I'm wrong.
I know. That's why we're still
Right.
friends.
Yeah, let's see.
That's why we're still friends.
Have you seen him? He is in good fucking shape.
Yeah, I bet.
He did like this bike ride for Veterans Day, and they do 100 kilometers.
I bet. And I guarantee he still smokes weed every day.
Yeah, you're right. He was 8 years. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I told you he did 8 years. Yeah, he couldn't run anymore. That's why he didn't.
He is in so much better shape than Biden. It's amazing to me. Like,
I
the
bet.
shape he's in. He was going.
Which means smoke more weed.
in every state.
Oh, so that should be legalized, but not abortion rights?
We're going back to my point that states own.
Fuck
their
you,
own
people.
laws.
Fuck you, people.
It's always
Fuck you, people. We're talking about illegal drugs or legal drugs that should be
I
legal.
want to talk about one more thing before we end this. So, another reason why it's not just Trump. Like, I don't base my decision on voting for Trump because of Trump. Because Trump says a lot of dumb shit. You know, Trump
Thank
was
you.
Joe Rogan.
Thank you.
Joe Rogan called him out and said, "You say a lot of dumb shit."
Thank you.
Okay, but look at the people that surround him. You have to think about RFK. He defected from the Democratic Party. You know, his uncle was JFK. His dad was Robert Kennedy.
That doesn't tell me shit.
They were diehard Democrats. Back in the day.
No, I know who they are. I'm talking about RFK, and it like himself doesn't tell me anything.
Well,
Because if you really think about RFK failed in the Democratic because nobody would support him because he's a fucking idiot.
No, that's because he was against all the corruption that the Democratic Party.
Sure.
This Democratic Party right now is not the Democratic Party of old. This is some kind of hybrid Democratic Party that's changing.
They're figuring it out.
Changing.
Yeah.
You got to look at it. I mean, you've got like AOC.
They're figuring it out.
Crying at the border, and it's so weird.
They're figuring it out.
Tulsi Gabbard, she was a diehard Democrat.
I wish we just had like a new hybrid version between Republican and Democrats because like that would be like so perfect for the people.
We didn't have two parties. I wish
That's what I'm
everybody
saying.
could agree.
That's what I'm saying. I do agree with that. Like it shouldn't be just two people, but you know what happens? It goes back to the money. Who raises the most money? The candidates that we vote for and that we know that get that live.
Raised $1 billion.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It goes back to the money and who raises the most money. That's who we see.
How do you raise $1 billion and
Bro.
$20 million in debt after the election?
Bro.
How?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
It's
That's why I'm saying, like,
to get our homeless veterans off the
listen.
street in Albuquerque, in Raleigh.
No, but it was all the marketing. And then she had to pay Megan Thee Stallion. Like, fuck.
Okay, that's okay. Now you're touching on the point I want to make. So let's look at the people.
When I tell you I can be critical of both sides, I can be critical of both sides. Like,
you might agree with me on
they
this.
both fucking suck.
I'm gonna.
They're not for us.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you might agree with me on.
And my tax bracket will get affected because I don't make money. I'm always affected.
All right, so let's look at who supports Trump and let's look at who supports Harris. Okay.
I don't even care.
You want like a little sip?
Sure, I don't even care. Just a little bit. Because this conversation is getting... Oh, no! Mic down, mic down.
No, I'm up. All right. We'll just give you a taste to get you through this segment. All right, there you go.
All right. Next segment.
All right. So let's look at who follows Trump and who follows...
I don't even know what I want to know. Do I want to know?
Trump supporters, first responders, 99% of police, military. You've got God, that's a big chunk right there. You got all these ICE, Border Patrol.
But it's not all military. Because I have military friends that don't support
It
him.
is a small percentage.
Okay.
We're talking like less than 2% probably.
Okay.
Less than 2. You've got, and it's the same with ICE. I still know a couple of guys in ICE that go Harris, but it's a small percentage.
Okay.
You're talking like 2%.
Oh, we're talking about the smart ones?
There are no. Oh my God. You just called half of America. Actually, over half of America dumb. Yes, you did.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
And
I actually thank everybody for their service. Like, I would never be able. Obviously, that's why I didn't do it. So
in my opinion, right, you have like all these people that make the country function. You've got most of the government agencies, the military, most law enforcement, fire, most first responders. You know, you've got a lot of steel workers, a lot of blue collar workers, all Trump supporters. Now, let's look at Harris. Hollywood, actors that are entitled, that are millionaires, artists. Okay, and if you look at the artists that went out and supported her, most of them on the P. Diddy list. Most of them. That's going to come out. Now, a couple of weeks ago.
You know what I'm sad about?
What?
Fucking Donald Trump list is not coming out. That's what I really wanted to come out.
Was it Donald Trump list?
Fuck yeah, he was involved with Epstein. Come on, Mike. There's pictures.
I don't know about that.
He was hanging out at he was on the island. Mike.
Was he on the manifest? If he was on that manifest, you don't think it would be out right now?
Why the fuck his name would be on the manifest? He owns enough. He has enough money for his name not to be on there. Are you kidding me?
Joy Reid would have personally got that list and announced it on MSNBC. I guarantee.
They probably fucking forgot about it.
They would have gave it to her.
He was in the island. They posted pictures. Look up the pictures with Epstein.
Donald Trump was on Epstein Island.
Hmm?
That doesn't mean he did anything. Maybe he went there because he was going to build him a building on it.
Cool. So I will rebuttal you that everybody on the Diddy list doesn't mean that they did something.
All right, I'm going to tell you a little something that happened the past 2 weeks. So a couple of weeks
Educate me.
A couple of weeks ago, I met this girl on Hinge. And we got to talking. And she said that she was on tour with an artist in Europe for 6 months. She didn't tell me who it was, so I just jokingly said, "Oh, I bet you were with Taylor Swift."
Oh.
She goes, "Actually, I was." Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what she told me, and I swear to God, she might be lying. I don't think she's lying because she showed me pictures and a lot of backstage stuff.
Yeah.
She's one of 12 tour managers of Taylor Swift.
Oh, awesome.
But she's just not like my person though. So, but we continue to talk, And she told me that she's worried about Taylor's career surviving this P. Diddy thing.
Really?
Yeah. She said that she's really worried about it because Taylor didn't participate, but
she ain't stop shit.
She didn't stop shit. And she's associated with people that went to these parties and participated in the after parties. So she's connected. And she's really worried that Taylor Swift's career is going to survive it. So
she's got a huge, the Swifties.
Ooh, that's what
they own the internet.
I was like, the Swifties are going to lose their fucking.
They own the internet.
She is done. Oh my God.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think they would drop her? I mean, because a lot of R. Kelly fans didn't drop him. They were like, he's still honest, innocent, not honest, but innocent.
Videos of him pissing on. What the fuck?
Yeah. But they blamed the girl.
They blamed the girl.
They blamed the 14-year-old.
Maybe she had some kind of urine fascination.
Yeah. It's her fault. Why would she be there?
Good Lord have mercy. What's wrong with this country?
Exactly. That is exactly what we've been talking about.
But you know what? So
I think we need more than 2 political parties.
I thought we just agreed we just need one. Everybody come together and we just need one party. Everybody.
Yeah, but we're still going to be divided because it's not going to speak to everyone.
Well, that would be.
We just need more than 2. We just need more than 2, and it shouldn't be based on how much money you raise.
Well, we have 3. You have like an independent party.
Yeah, but they never raise any money. What was his name? The old dude. There was a lot of memes about him.
What?
Fuck.
Bernie?
Yeah. He was the most famous one out of all of them.
Well, I think Ross Perot was a famous one.
Oh, was he? I don't remember that name.
Ross Perot was like in the 90s, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Stop talking about the times that I wasn't here, Mike.
Yeah. You need to do some homework on Ross Perot. He had like
Okay.
big satellite years.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But Bernie, man.
Bernie's great.
Feel the burn.
Bernie told, what's his name? The founder of Microsoft. What the fuck's his name? I'm having a brain fart right now.
Yeah, I was
He
like,
told Bill Gates to his face that he needs to give up some of his money because he's too rich. Like, there's
I mean,
a show where Bernie's interviewing him.
I would have loved to see Bernie as a president.
Oh, Jesus.
Talk about just challenging and different.
I can't get back to the way he looks. He looks like Doc Brown.
He does. Minus the like crazy hair. But that would have been. I think that would have been a great era. Like we would have hit a 4-year era of like what the fuck constantly.
That's all we've been saying. What the fuck?
Right, but that would have brought us together. That would have been the what the fuck that brought us together. I feel like.
And that would have been a true independent.
Yeah.
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 And I don't know if you follow Joe Rogan, but I listen to his podcast. I've been listening to him.
I like Joe Rogan. Yeah.
He was a Bernie supporter.
Mhm.
And for Joe Rogan to support Trump, whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another thing. You look at who supports him, right? I mean,
I'm gonna go back to. There was a lot of factors.
Because I used to love.
There was a lot of factors.
Mark Hamill, Michael Keaton, Bruce Springsteen. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these people also support them based on either promises or they get paid to support them. Because like the fucking what's her name? She dated Kanye, Amber Rose.
Oh, yeah.
She's like a Trump supporter. All of the sudden,
yeah.
after like having a slut walk and having all this like free the nipple, basically liberating women to dress however they want to and be whoever they want to, and LGBTQ plus community to like be whoever they want to.
So she used to be a diehard liberal.
Like diehard liberal, and all of a sudden she's like supporting like mega hats and like Trump, and I'm like, how much did you get paid, baby?
Well, your boy Biden put a MAGA hat on.
I mean, does he know what his name is? I feel bad, but like,
I would bet my life that him and Jill voted for Trump. Like, Jill went to vote in all red.
Did Trump vote for Trump? Was he allowed?
Well, he probably voted for fucking Bernie.
Was he allowed though? Because he's a felon.
That's a good question. That's a good question. So, actually, hold on. He's not convicted yet, so he's technically.
No, he did get convicted. What do you mean?
No.
He was found guilty. He just wasn't given sentences.
Yeah, so he's technically, because everything got postponed too. So
yeah, he was gonna be sentenced in January because of the election, but he did get convicted.
I heard that.
He was found guilty.
I don't want to be I don't want to misspeak, but I could have swore I heard that technically he's not a convicted felon right now.
Look it up. I swear to God, he got convicted. He was found guilty. Like, he's convicted. He just, like, wasn't sentenced. He was waiting for his sentencing. And his sentence and his pardon depended on whether he was going to be chosen as a president. That's why my conspiracy theory was that this was done on purpose so that he doesn't get convicted, because I'm sure there's a lot of people behind the shit.
Of course, CNN is going to say Trump is a convicted felon. Here's why he can still vote today. Oh, well, let's fucking see this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's CNN, so
he is so fucking orange. Can somebody tell him like to stop the tinning bed? You don't see that with the raccoon eyes?
I mean,
Mike.
He's got a little white right there.
Michael.
So while Florida generally makes it challenging for people in the state with felony convictions to regain their voting rights, former President Trump had no issue casting a ballot for himself Tuesday at Palm Beach. Trump was convicted in Manhattan earlier this year of 34 counts of falsifying business records tied to hush money payments before 2016 election to adult film star Stormy Daniels. So if that would have been any other guy, if you take that name right there and you put Gates or you put Musk, it's not even
he would have not been allowed to do any of it.
If you put Bird there,
you would have been convicted.
Because I just fucked Stormy Daniels.
You would have been convicted, though. You would have been in jail already.
I never would have been tried. This is bullshit.
You would have been in... What?
The first former U.S. president convicted of a felony. Trump is scheduled to be said. Okay, no, that was delayed actually. So this is not even going to happen. All this is going to get pushed under. It's all going to be dismissed.
No, it's going to be dismissed because he just got elected. So he's got immunity. He's got immunity. Yeah. What's the best thing for the country?
You don't go after your president. Over half of the...
That was the deal. That's why my conspiracy theory was that this was done on purpose so he doesn't get convicted because of the people that he's protecting.
Then you're saying that the election was rigged.
I'm not saying that the election was rigged. No.
To go by your tinfoil hat theory.
Listen. All right. Let me tell you this.
Listen, Linda.
Listen.
Let's go.
I have an undergrad in international business and I have a master's degree in strategic marketing. I will tell you this. Through marketing, all of this social media, news, everything outlet, why do you think I don't listen to this shit? Because I know exactly how they play the game. I know exactly what they have to do to appeal to you and the rest of the people, right? It doesn't have to be everyone as long as it's about 55%, right?
Okay.
And that's exactly what the campaigns did. That's exactly, first of all, Biden should have never ran again.
But
there should have been,
he was on point.
I never did.
You didn't work with him, though. I get it if you say it, but they worked with him.
They had to.
And they said he was on point.
Wouldn't you say your boss is on point? If it depended on your job?
But then you're lying.
If your job depended on it?
So, yeah, but you're lying.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, but you would lie, too. Everybody would lie.
But we got to trust
Listen, I've met so many people that work for...
People lying?
I have met so many people that worked in the White House. They just want the job. They don't care about who they're working for. They just want the job. They want the benefits. They want the security clearance. And that's another issue that I have. Like, if you have any type of... If you smoked weed in college, you couldn't get a security clearance. So the fact that he even was allowed to run as a convicted felon, to me, is beyond whatever reason.
But you have to look at how he's convicted. It was a weaponization
I don't
of
care.
the Justice Department.
No, it wasn't. I don't care. Either way, he was found guilty. I don't give a shit what the charges are because there's a lot of convicted felons in prison right now that the same thing was done for because a DA wanted to get elected or whatever, or mayor wanted to get elected or whatever else, and they were found guilty. So let's not go there. So, but what I'm saying is, right. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's reality, though. We all know that.
Yeah, but you're not seeing why they did it, though. I mean, if it would have been anybody else, they never would have prosecuted anyone else like they did Trump. They were just trying to keep Trump out of office. That's it. They were trying to keep him from running.
Well, obviously it didn't succeed, so what's the point?
Exactly. So now they have to give up.
What's the point? Because he had other people protecting him, so what does it matter?
You really think they had other
Yes, guaranteed.
They tried to fucking kill him twice. They almost killed him.
Do you really think?
Almost killed him.
Who is they?
That's a good question.
Who is they? Because when they tried and succeeded at killing JFK, right? Is that who it was?
Succeeded, yes. Hey, Trump might
Did you find the killer? Did you find the sniper?
On Lee Harvey Oswald.
Did you find them?
I didn't. I wasn't.
For a fact, no. But I'm saying, did they find? Like, did the government find who? Like, if the government wants to get rid of you, you will get rid of.
And I think the government was behind JFK's killing.
Correct.
Yes.
I don't think it was behind Donald Trump.
Then
they were two dumbasses that were just doing things.
Okay, so let me ask you this: why was Crooks's body disposed of and cremated 6 days after? Why was there no fingerprints on any silverware in the house? why was his house completely wiped clean? Like,
it was planned. I'm not going to say whether it was planned by the government or Trump himself. I'm not even going to go down that conspiracy theory. Because I have my own conspiracy theories. So you got to understand, like,
oh my God, was it a Black Rock?
So let me like, all right, let me like bring you into my world of conspiracy theories, right? Tinfoil head on.
Again, this is like,
don't judge me. I know. In one episode, I have never done this before. So proud of myself. So let's think about, like, you also have to understand I come from Albania, which is historically a place that was invaded by the Ottoman Empire for 500 years. And then we had a kingdom. And then we went into communism. And then from the communism, because of like USSR, it became a dictatorship, right? And so to me, I see things in him and the way he's portraying himself that the Putins, the Kim Jong-uns of the world, the Mussolinis, the Enver Hoxha in Albania did historically, which was pay people or pretend to have assassination attempts and survive them so they can seem invincible. So they can seem... That's why I said conspiracy theory. However, to me, it's like this is textbook what dictators have done overseas. Okay? So they seem invincible. They seem like nobody can kill them. They speak a certain way, which is very close to him. They do certain things a certain way. So then they can become this dictator. They basically buy in, like, people buy into it because they're like, oh, you can't kill him. Oh, he's so strong, even at an older age, and all of this, blah, 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 right? And so, and what happens is people elect them, and then all of a sudden it turns into a dictatorship gradually, not overnight, with doing different things. So to me, it's like, were these actual assassinations? Because a sniper that's trained and then wants to kill somebody, if it was government chosen, he wouldn't have missed. If somebody is hiding in the fucking bushes in your golf course, he wouldn't have missed and you would have never found him. If JFK was killed and his killer was not found until 30, 40 years down the road, supposedly, in 2024, he would have disappeared. So the reason behind all of like the, you know, everything being wiped out and everything else, it's like, yeah, I mean, it was definitely set up. I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. Now, by who, I don't know. I have my theories. Doesn't mean I'm right. It's just looking a lot like it. That's all I'm saying.
I understand. You got your tinfoil hat on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's just look at it like this. Okay, let's just say
I'm open to ideas.
Okay, let's just say President candidate Paela is at the stand in where was it, Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
You're there. You're giving us.
Who, by the way, voted for him? So.
You voted for Trump? What?
No. Who voted for him? Pennsylvania.
Oh yes.
Mm.
So let's just say
I'm adding to the facts.
You're giving your speech, right?
Uh-huh.
Now you're saying, what if this was all planned? Okay. What if let's just say some higher up, let's just say CIA or some foreign entity hired crooks to assassinate Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're using iron sights,
mm-hmm.
all right? On I can't remember what kind of rifle it was. Was it an M4? Was it AR? But you're using iron sights.
Obviously, shit that he didn't know how to use.
He shot Trump in the ear. Now, hold on. Let's just say this is planned. Let's just say Trump planned this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if Trump planned this, do you really trust that shooter to shoot you in the ear with iron sights? Do you know how close?
No, but who? But that's why he fucking died, because maybe he should have never got that close.
Ooh, that is,
right? I don't know. I mean, You could be right.
I mean,
but if I wanted to kill you, I'm not gonna choose a fucking dude that doesn't even know how to use a rifle. I'm gonna go get a trained motherfucking killers because we all know they do exist. The movies are not fake.
Well, I do think
when it comes to professional killers,
I do think, and I'm not a super religious person. I don't believe in like fate and all this other crap. I don't believe God keeps Trump on this planet because.
Oh, thank you. That's why we maintain friendship. Because if you did, I would be like.
I just think Trump turned his head at the right moment, and.
I just don't think he was supposed to go that close to him, anyways.
I do think that I don't think Trump planned it.
So you have that close of a like near-death experience, and you like still like are so like.
Well,
sticking his head out like.
He was nice for a couple hours.
I mean, this motherfucker is like, come on.
That was iconic, Paela. You gotta admit.
Because it was planned. No way. Mike.
He was shot in the head. You can't make that shot. You can take that shot 100 times and hit him in the ear.
Then we're going back to he's a sociopath.
No way.
Because how can you not be like that? How are you that detached to like you almost died?
A person was killed during this, and 2 people were in.
You think he gives a shit?
Oh, Paela.
That makes it more believable. Are you kidding? If I was a billionaire, listen.
Touch your ear. How close is your earlobe?
If I was a billionaire, that was. I guarantee you that was not supposed to happen. It just like happened that he weaved and bobbed and it just moved the right way, and like thankfully nothing happened to him because I don't want anything negative to happen to anyone.
Trump was like, okay, I'm about to move.
But
I'm about to turn my head. Go ahead.
No, I just don't think that he was supposed to get shot that close. I think the idiot that had the rifle that got paid off to die because of whatever,
he did get paid.
Because of whatever promises he was given.
That's another thing too. If you're crooks, you're going to die.
Yeah, for sure.
So what was his play?
He was kamikaze in that bitch. Like, he didn't care.
His end game.
His family probably got paid off.
He was promised something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, a few days later, some reporters confronted his dad at, like, Costco, I think it was. He had a full cart of groceries.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he was definitely promised something. Yeah, because the dude that they found in the golf course that was hiding in the bushes, like, he wasn't any better. He didn't come from money or anything. Yeah. He owned a car.
Well, he was fun fact, my neighbor used to work for him 20 years ago. Yeah, and he owned his own business, a construction business. Mm-hmm. And my friend, that's how he knows him, because he's in the real estate business.
Okay.
But he told me that he was kind of a lunatic back then too. So, yeah.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. They're not really, to me, they're not really assassination like attempts. Mm-hmm. Like, especially if the government really meant to kill him, I think they would have picked somebody better. At least injured the shoulder, or injured like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna pick somebody and pay their family off, or even like, hey Mike, you're gonna risk your life, you might die that day, but I want you to kill this guy. I'm gonna make sure that you actually are a good shot.
Well, he was.
I'm not just gonna hire somebody off the street. He
could have went center mass, and it had all been over. No amount of turning your body, looking at a chart, could have saved you. This guy went for the head. So I don't know.
I see what you're saying. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but
maybe down the road. Let's just hope I'm not right about the dictatorship, because that will fucking suck.
You know what? We should go
for everyone.
We should go live on January 20th. We should do a podcast.
Is that an inauguration? Oh God. I'm definitely gonna be drunk for that one. I cannot hear him talk. I don't know the amount of alcohol.
We'll definitely get 2 bottles of Barefoot.
I know, right? Seriously, they're $10 anyways, unless they go up to 15.
Oh my God! Look, this has been fun. We got to end this.
Yeah.
We'll continue.
Let's do it.
Time. Yes.
I have fun.
We can actually talk about politics and.
Oh my God! And we didn't fight. Look at that. We're still laughing.
The rest of the country should take example.
See, you can still be friends, have a difference of opinions, speak about it.
She's crazy. It's all
I mean, it's about education, people.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next time. I'm Mike.
Bye. This is Paela.
We'll see you next time. Bye.